Hi, you are watching Your Opinion Count. And once again, we have an excellent panelist for you. For this evening topic is voting. Is it worth it? And our first question is to Robert L. Lynch, who is running for State Representative, District 94. And our question to him is, do you feel, or what is your opinion on, do most people think voting is a waste of time?
Hi, Judith. Thank you for inviting me on. I would have to say 1,200,000 people proved that it's not a waste of time in the last election. So we believe that voting do count. We believe once we out there voting that we can make a difference, and voters like myself who believe that those things can take place. Now, we might have those in those impoverished areas, those underprivileged areas, undeveloped areas. They probably wouldn't agree with what I'm saying because they're not receiving some of the benefits that we might receive in the community that we live in. Because the first thing when politicians decide to take away money, they cut in those undeveloped areas as well. So to them, they're too busy trying to get a sandwich than to believe in someone that's going to help their community.
That's a good answer. You're watching Your Opinion Count. And the next question is, do you believe, or what is your opinion on the two-party system? Is it time for a change?
I think that if we had a third-party system, it would be fantastic. But since we don't, and we're dealing with the two-party system, it's the best system in town. I believe that in some states we need to change laws because the Constitution states that every state have the right to run their election any way that they see fit as long as they stay by the guidelines set forth by the federal government. And down here in the state of Florida, you have to go and declare a party. Now, if the state of Florida decided they want to change the way it's voting, I'm along with that. Democrat, Republican, Independent. I think an independent should be able to walk up to the voting booth, say I am an independent, and he should get a list. He or she should get a list of both parties that's running, and then vote on that way. That's a start. Might not be the answer, but it's a start.
We're talking to Robert L. Lynch, who is running for State Representative in District 94. And the topic for this evening is voting, is it worth it? And the next question is, what is your opinion on politicians and their platform? Do you believe they find it hard to keep their platform once they are elected?
Yes, I think as a politician, we need to change with the times. I believe that we should get off the word platform and change the verbiage and go with our concerns. Because once we go with our concerns, there is no platform. Because voters make you stick to your platform. When you say these are my concerns, then that's everyone's concern. So what you do then you work on those concerns. And it doesn't put us in a bad light when we say my concerns than my platform.
Okay, and the next question is, do you, or what is your opinion on the high cost of housing? Should the government get involved with coming up with something to do something for the people?
I believe that right now we are spending trillions of dollars in the disbursement of lives of our troops over across in Iraq and also in Bosnia. So if we can come up with that kind of money to build bombs, to destroy lives, we can come up with that same type of money to make sure that those who do not have a roof over their head can have a roof over their head. And I do believe that if my tax dollars is spent on death and destruction, I truly believe that my tax dollars should be built on building houses at low income as well.
Well, you're watching Your Opinion Count. I'm your host, Judith Ann, and our guest panelist is Robert L. Lynch, who is running for State Representative in District 94. And our next question to him is, should we, I'll ask you this question here. I like this one better. Should the people who make decisions, who work for the city, should they live in that city?
No doubt. I think any time that you work in a city where they asked me to vote on a bond of any type to make sure that we make improvements to the city, that everyone that we hire that work in those key positions now, I think should be part of the city and should have an address in the city as well.
And the next question is, what should a voter look for in a candidate?
I can speak for myself. I look for a candidate that have my views, the things that's important to me. If that candidate is 50% there and the other candidate is not there at all, then I just have to take the other 50% of the bad and go along with him, because it's always best to vote for that candidate that have your views in heart, because what it does when you go into that voting booth, when you vote and you come out, you feel like your vote truly counted because you trust in that person. And that's one thing we have to remember as a politician. A person gives us their vote, also gives us their trust.
The next question is, what is your opinion on, do a politician who is elected has a responsibility to maintain integrity after he is elected?
Judith Ann, yes, I believe that we have to do that, because we have this shadow, or should I say this cloud, this gray cloud that's over our heads from those who was in office who just happened to do the wrong thing, that those that's in office that's doing the right thing, we overlook them. So we have to constantly show our integrity 110% per day. And not only that, we need to get the media to cover those politicians who is out there doing the correct thing, because what we seem to do is just like everything else, bad press sells. But we have excellent politicians out there that's doing fantastic jobs, and there are some that I would even vote for and give them my trust.
You are watching Your Opinion Count, and I'm your host, Judith Ann, and our guest panelist is Robert L. Lynch, who is running for State Representative District 94. And our question to him is, what should we as voters, how should we really choose a candidate?
I think that we should choose a candidate not only on their credentials, but their passion. You can just about tell when a candidate is talking to you and he's saying the same thing that 5 or 6 other candidates are saying in the same room. And then there's that one that you can tell that his passion would be his desire and his work. Because we can't always go on what a candidate says. So we have to try to put all those things together as one. We have to try to put their passion with what we believe in. Do they believe in it? There's so many variables there that we can use. But the one most important thing that we need, do we trust that person? We can still vote for them and trust them, but that's okay. We exercise our right, and our right to vote do count.
Oh, you're watching Your Opinion Count, and we really want to thank Robert L. Lynch for coming down and sharing his valuable time with us. We really appreciate you coming in, and we appreciate his opinion. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Julianne, and you made this such a relaxing and enjoyable experience.
Thank